Hello, everybody. My name's Mary O'Sullivan, and today I would like to read to you some excerpts from my brand new book. I'm sure you're seeing it in reverse, but it's called The Leader You Don't Want to Be, and it's on Amazon.com right now. And I wrote this book after 30 years in industry as a woman in leadership roles from time to time. And I've come to some conclusions which I've shared in my book. So I start off my chapter regarding women. It's called The Paradox of Women in Leadership. And I like to start each one of my chapters with a quote. And this one is from a training industry summit. To be accepted as leaders, women often must walk a fine line between two opposing sets of expectations. And isn't that the truth? So here's what my thoughts are on being a woman in business in a leadership role. Feeling like no matter what you do as a woman, leadership opportunities pass you by. It's not your imagination. Conventional wisdom says that in general, women struggle more than men when aiming for the major leadership roles in an organization. Yes, we've made some strides, but in my experience, professional aspiring women don't like networking with men, are still ignored in meetings, and feel overwhelmed as if they have no time because they haven't figured out that delegation is good for the soul and not a dirty word. Are women leaders invisible? Has this ever happened to you? Say you're in a newly promoted female executive, a vice president, and at your first executive staff meeting, a question is posed in the mostly male group about how to solve a talent retention problem. Answers come from around the room, but none are sticking with the CEO. Since you've had a similar challenge in your last assignment, you offer your suggestion as well. And what do you hear? Crickets. No one responds. You think that maybe they didn't hear you because they just keep talking about the problem without even looking your way or asking you to comment further on your input. You know your answer is sound, it's logical, it's based on firsthand experience, and all said, it's a good answer. So you stand up and repeat it. And that's when you realize you're effectively invisible, as it's as if you are not even there. Looking around the room, the only other women you see are the CEO's administrative assistant and the woman attending to the coffee bar. They look at you, they heard you, but the men at the table aren't even giving you the courtesy of nodding in response to your suggestion. No, you're not daydreaming and you are not having a neurological episode. In that meeting with those men gathered around that table, you're just invisible. Your voice is not being heard. Your colleagues are openly neglecting to acknowledge your presence or your opinion. The sad truth is they don't mean to be rude, they're just oblivious. And that's the very beginning of chapter 2 of my brand new book, The Leader You Don't Want to Be. We're having a launch on April 27th, so stay tuned for that information. It'll be a Facebook Live, and I'm looking forward to seeing every one of you there on April 27th. Thank you so much for listening to my reading.